Hey everyone, this is Mike from Mike's Do It Yourself. Today I want to show you how to put in a dimmer switch. Now the first step would be to turn off the power or your circuit breaker that goes to that particular switch that you want to add a dimmer to. Now the next step would be to unscrew the screws for your wall plate, and you should be able to just pry that off. And then whatever switch you want to replace, you simply unscrew the top and the bottom screw. And then you're going to have 3 or possibly 4 wires. If it's a one-way switch, which means there's only one switch that controls it, that is a single pole installation. And that's what this installation video shows, is single pole. Now if you have 2 switches that control it, that's going to be a little bit different. You're going to have a common wire or a traveler wire, and you're going to have a switch that is designated as a 3-way dimmer switch. And some will do both. So right here I am removing the ground wire, and that is the green screw, and it can be either on the top or on the bottom of the switch. And that's the bare wire that goes to it. And then I'm trying to pry out the line wire and the load wire, and those are the 2 black wires. And usually there's a tab, there's a hole with a tab in it next to each of the wire, and if you push in one direction or the other, usually you're able to pop those out, or sometimes if you unscrew the screws from the sides. Now this wasn't able to happen for me, so the switch again, you can just go ahead and cut it like I did with some wire cutters. And then if you don't have any wire strippers, you just want to take a 1/2 inch, a 3/8 to 1/2 inch insulation off each wire. And so that'll be enough to go inside the wire nuts or inside the switch. So on this, I don't know which one is the load and which one's the line, but for the line, that would be coming from your circuit breaker box, and then your load would be the one that sends the power to the light fixtures. So what I'm putting in now, and you can check that with a voltmeter before you take off the old switch. So if you know the one that has constant power, that is the one that is the line wire, and the one that is the switch power is the load wire. So that's what the designations are on the back of the new dimmer switch. And then the neutral wire, if you don't see one coming from here, you'll have to put one in to the white bundle that's in the box. And a lot of these will include it. So you saw I installed the ground wire to the green screw. Now this is the line wire on the bottom there, and that's the one coming from the breaker box. And now the load wire, that's the one that sends the power to the fixtures. And that can be black or red. So you just want to tighten the screws after you get those put in on each side. And that way it just keeps other things from touching it. And per your installation instructions, they may want you to break the tabs off if it doesn't fit in your box, back in the box. So on this one, you could take out the right side tabs or the left side tabs as you're looking at it, if you need a little extra space when they sit side by side. and you just move those little tabs forward and backward, and they will break off. So this is the neutral wire, the white neutral wire, and that goes into the neutral wire spot. So I'm tightening the screw for the neutral wire. And this did come with the kit, but you may have to make your own if it doesn't come with it. And what this does, it provides a return path for the circuit. That's if you have a light or communications or a smart switch, or if you have some kind of programming built into the switch, like you'll need constant power. So that's what this neutral wire will do for you. And so what I did, I dug out, I had to remove the switch on the left to get to the wire bundle, and that's the white wire bundle. And then you'll just want to use your wire caps to twist it and then pull on it just to make sure it's in there. Now I like to put wires, like the black wires and the white wires, in opposite directions, but sometimes the way they're fed in there is the way they came out, and that's about the only way you can get them back in. So you may have to stick them next to each other. And just be extra careful that your ground wire or your bare copper wire is not touching anything when you push your switches back in. And so it'll say top and bottom on the switch. And so that's what the install looks like. Now if you had a three-way switch, you'd have that extra traveler wire or common wire, and that would usually be like a darker colored screw on your switch that it would go to. And then you would have to keep your other switch always on so that it would operate properly. So here I am just tightening the switches back in the wall, and you can rotate them left or right a little bit, just to make sure that they're going to fit flush when you get the faceplate back on. Now before you get all this put back together, you'll want to check the operation of the switch, which I didn't at this time, but when I turned the circuit breaker back on, it wasn't working, so I knew I had switched the line and the load wires because I didn't have a voltmeter with me at the time, or a multimeter. So you can see the blue wire isn't lighting up on the switch. So it's a pretty easy fix. Just unscrew the screws from the sides and then just flip the two black wires. And then, like I said, before you get it all pushed in, just double check it, turn the power back on, and then make sure you got the light or whatever kind of programming you have on your switch. So you can see the blue light's illuminating now, and you can see the lights dimming, and turn it back on. Well, this has been Mike from Mike's Do It Yourself. I hope this has been helpful. Good luck on your next home or automotive project, and thanks for watching. And a little pebbles break at the end. She's just doing her most favorite thing, digging.